What's going on, you guys? It's been a long time. Just kidding. We're still here in the shop, but I did have to break up the videos. So we got our polishing, paint correction done, and we're now going to be installing the ceramic coating. So a few steps we're going to have to do before, and then I'm going to show you what's all in the kit first and what we're going to be doing to the car before we start installation. So let's get over to the table and I'll show you what all comes in the kit. All right guys, so we're over here at my desk and here is our coating. It is a C-Quartz 3.0 ceramic coating kit, and this coating right here I think is rated for 2 years. The one I have on my white truck is actually a 5-year coating. So they make stronger ones from C-Quartz that last a little bit longer, also, and less. Same way with any other company. I know Jax Wax, for instance, they have a 5-year coating and they have a 1-year coating. So everybody kind of varies. But this one in particular shows it should last up to 2 years if you take care of it. So in this kit, we have our spray, our miniature bottle here of the Reload. This is the top coating that goes over top of the ceramic coating once it's on. It's kind of like I believe it's like when you wash it, you kind of put this over top of the coating to kind of help protect it rather than using a wax or something. This will give it a higher gloss. It'll also help the coating to last longer than if you just, don't put anything on the coating. So this is CarPro. This comes with the kit. Then we have some applicator pads and some microfiber, looks like a microfiber wiping towel. We also have our applicator brick, which is where your applicator pads will rest on, and you'll just kind of hold it like this and you'll run across the paint. So there's our pad, installation pad, and here we have our coating. This is a 50 milliliter bottle of the ceramic coating from C-Quartz, and it's not a very big bottle, but like I said, this stuff goes a long way. You'll see when we start putting it on, you're not going to need a whole lot. And so then we have our instruction manual here, and let's see what we have this for. We have some stickers here that we just dropped on the floor. Great. So I'm not sure what these are for yet. Let me pick this one up. We shall see. So we're going to open up our kit here, and it says do not apply in direct sunlight or on a hot surface. So this is one of the things that I have to say why you don't want to do this outside, because you can't do it really in direct sunlight or when the car, like the paint is very hot. Do not reuse the 4-inch suede applicators because once the ceramic coating dries up on them, it creates little glass shards almost in it, and it will scratch anything that you try to use them for. So that's why you throw them away. Do not reuse towels you used to take off this. Like I said, anything that you use to touch this ceramic coating, you're going to have to get rid of, because once it dries onto whatever towel or microfiber you put it on, it basically turns into a scratch pad because it's almost like glass shards in it. So anything you get, I get this 100 pack here from AutoZone of microfibers. They do excellent, and they're pretty cheap, so I can just throw them away, the ones that I use for this. Work in a ventilated area. Use skin and respiratory. This stuff is very strong, so I would definitely wear your gloves and put on a mask also, because it's very strong. And then it says test the product in an inconspicuous area, which we are going to do, because we got to figure out the flash time so that we know how long before we need to wipe it off. Because if you wipe it off too soon, then it's gone. And if you wipe it off too late, it hardens and it won't come off, and then you have a bunch of streaks in your paint. So we definitely have to get that figured out. Keep away from children, obviously. This is not a Capri Sun, so let's not do that. So number 1, shake C-quartz well. And then we got number 2, wrap a 4-inch microfiber and the gray side of the applicator block. Slowly open bottle and drag 1 or 2 lines across the applicator. Spread across the paint in a crisscross pattern, 50 by 50 centimeter sections at a time. Buff off as soon as it flashes, within 1 to 2 minutes depending on temperature and humidity, using a 16 by 16 microfiber towel. Be sure to remove all excess residue and only then move to the next section. Switch out the 4-inch suedes every 2 panels. Additionally, additional coats may be applied after 60 minutes. We recommend 2 to 3 layers maximum. Apply CarPro Reload 60 minutes after applying the final layer. So there's our instructions straight from CarPro. So it doesn't say anything about what these little stickers are for. So if any of y'all know what these are for, feel free to leave me a comment. I haven't had these in any other kit, but I've also never had a CarPro kit. So kind of unsure. So anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this here. Actually, we might crack this plastic off of here. Go ahead and get this stuff, plastic removed off of it and get her ready to roll. So we're not worried about that actually. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our prep spray, which is this, it doesn't matter, any prep spray, and we are going to go and clean the entire car right before we get this, and we're gonna get anything else off of it, hopefully, and get it ready for the coating, because you don't want any dust or any oils or any of the compound or polish that you just used to be left on the paint. So we're gonna get all that off with this alcohol kind of prep spray. So let's get over to the car and start. So we're going to get a nice mist on the car, and we're going to just start wiping down. And see, this stuff being alcohol based should dry up with no residue left behind. So you're just going to smear it in and rub it in and get this paint as clean as possible. And this will also help to get off any excess dust. But you see what I mean? If you would have just left all the dust on here, you'd be moving a lot of dust and your towel might not be able to take it all. So now that we've got most 95% of the dust gone, we'll only maybe catch up with the extra 5%. So it shouldn't get overloaded and then we might miss something. So we're gonna go over the whole car just like this, and we might go over it a second time depending on how much stuff we have left, and then we'll move back to the coating. Alrighty guys, so we went around the entire car and we have wiped everything down. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give the car a walk around to make sure we didn't miss anything, and give a good look-see across the paint and the glass if you're going onto the glass, and make sure, like I said, that we did not miss any spots that we need to wipe down before we get deep into the coating install. So I think I see maybe a couple little spots I need to run over, but so far it looks pretty good. All the dust looks to be gone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna grab me a fresh one right here. And like I said, we're just gonna walk, and you can feel it too. You can feel how squeaky clean the car is because it like grips. So like, listen, I mean, it's no slickness left on this car. So that tells me that it's good to go. I mean, if you're over here feeling your car and it is like, it doesn't grip, it's like super slick, then there's something on there. Because like I said, once you do all these cleaning process, you buffer it out and you put this cleaning spray on there, the paint should be squeaky clean. So I'm gonna get my hands off of that, but you get the drift. You know what I'm trying to say here. So We're just walking around, having ourselves a big and rich time. Oh, there's a spot right there. So, any fingerprints or anything like that, we're gonna get all that stuff going. Dust particles, bugs, you know how those little guys are. They just like to come in and ruin your day. That's all they're good for. Except for bees. I mess with bees, but all the others, they just get on my nerves. So, all right, so we've done our walk around. Swipe some dust off of there. Front end looks nice. Glass looks good. So now what we're gonna do, let me get this little spot right here on the windshield, which is also squeaky clean. It is so hard to rub my microfiber on there. It's so clean. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how many of these we have. It's quite a few. 1, 2, 3. It looks like we got about 5 of those. So first things first. Let me get this. We're gonna get our gloves on, okay, guys? Because safety is first. So we're gonna get our gloves on. I said we were. It's fighting me. All right, so we got our gloves on, ready to commit a crime. Just kidding. So now we're going to take our towel here that come with the kit, and I'm gonna use that. I usually use those, but we'll use this until it doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna take, it said something about this applicator here. So wrap a 4-inch microfiber suede around the gray side. Okay, it doesn't care. So I'm gonna put the CarPro side towards me. I just don't want that on the paint. So we're gonna do that here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the trunk area. Okay, guys. It said inconspicuous, so I'm gonna do the trunk because I just don't want it to be the hood, and I don't feel like bending down. So anyways, so we're gonna put way too much on here. Great. And then we're gonna set it down here on this electrical outlet. Make sure you set it on the electrical outlet. Don't miss that step. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little square here. And all right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna run it and we're gonna spread it out nice and evenly, doing like a cross hatch pattern. So I think we're good on this little square here. Go a little bit further. Like I said, this stuff right here goes a long way. You'll see, I mean, just that little bit that I just put on here, and I could probably do this whole trunk. So I'm gonna do, we're gonna move it around. And now we have her spread out pretty good here. So you're supposed to wait until it flashes, basically, which could take, according to the directions, 1 to 2 minutes. And what it means by flashing is that some of the chemicals in it are evaporating out of it, and it should start to rainbow and change colors here. So you'll just have to look for that and kind of time it out properly. So I would probably set a stopwatch for about a minute and just see how that goes. Or you could just watch and look for the color change, and it should look kind of like what what it looks like when you have an oil spill or something in the water. That's what it should look like. I think that's the look that they're going for, but who knows? So we're gonna give this some time. I'm in a cool shop, by the way. So it's only like maybe 50 or so in here. So for me, it's gonna be a little bit harder. It's not gonna dry as quick. If it was like 70 degrees in here, we'd be a little bit. So what I'm looking for is we're trying to see the color changing for you guys. So far I haven't seen it. It looks like we're cooking up on a minute. So let's probably give it 2 minutes, to be honest, with the temperature we have in here. So here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe this down, even her up a little bit. And what I'm actually gonna do, being the temperature that I'm at, is I'm going to give it full 2 minutes. I'm gonna put a 2-minute timer on my phone, and I'm gonna give her the beans. So we're gonna give her the full 2 minutes because of the temperature in here, and it should be good, hopefully. Oh yeah. All right, so I can run my glove right here across this and slide, and as soon as I get to the part where I didn't, like, you can feel it. As soon as I get to the part where I didn't rub this ceramic coating, my glove stops. I mean, this is a vinyl glove, so sliding, skirt. I mean, it grips over here and it's slick over here, so that tells me we're doing good. But being the temperature I'm in, I'm gonna go the full 2 minutes and then wipe off, because it was still able to wipe off after that. So we're gonna do this whole trunk, and I'm gonna show you that same process. So alrighty, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start spreading this out on the rest of the trunk. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the entire upper trunk area. And you really wanna go both ways with this. Even it out as much as possible. Make it go as far as you possibly can. Like I said, this stuff goes a long way. So there's no need for it to be super thick. You need to get it as thin and as even as possible. So we're gonna start a timer here. And I'm gonna go ahead and run this again. You don't want to go over top of what you've done for 60 minutes, obviously, but I literally just put this on, so I'm kind of I'm spreading it out again, and that was a test panel, so I did go over it. So forgive me, ceramic gods, for that. But anyways, we're doing this whole thing, and we have a timer set on my phone. We're gonna give her the full 2 minutes, and we're gonna go panel by panel, and it says after every 2 panels to change this out. So I'm probably gonna do the rear section of the car, and then I'm gonna change this out, and then I'll probably do the sides of the car, change this out, and then I'll probably do the front end, change it out, and then do the glass with another one, since we have about 5. I think we have 5 of those. So we just kind of divide it accordingly. So we're gonna give this that 2 minutes to flash. And if you look at it, you can see the streaks in it, because I mean you're rubbing it in, so you can see this stuff applied. So
That's why you really want to rub it out as even as possible, because if a section of it does dry quick and you can't get it off because it's already kind of hardened, dried, then at least you rubbed it out even, so it won't really show. Whereas if you just have like a huge streak of this and it's real thick and it dries up, you're gonna have to buff that out, because trust you me, I learned that the hard way on my first one, and I had a huge streak going across the hood from where I accidentally missed rubbing a spot, and it was just this huge streak, and I had to cut it out with stage 1 3M, so it's not just gonna wash off. So like I said, try to get it as even and as thin as possible. And alrighty, so it's been 2 minutes and 15 seconds actually. So we're way over. Whoopsie. So we're gonna get this rubbed out. Wow, that is slick. So we got that rubbed out and it looks spectacular. Oh yeah, she's slick. So, and make sure we get all of the excess off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing on the rest of the car. So instead of boring you guys for the next hour, I'm going to get to that. So just do the exact same thing. Figure out your time frame on a small little spot. If you see it flashing at 1 minute, then put you a 1 minute timer and do the rest of the car. It all depends on temperature. It's pretty chilly here. Well, not really chilly. It's like 50 degrees right now in my shop. So it's not 70 where it would probably flash pretty quick. So that's going to be my struggling point. So that's why I'm going the full 2 minutes, which is, it says between 1 and 2 minutes. So full 2 minutes, and then I'm going to wipe it off, and it seems to be doing good because it's definitely slick already in the spots on this trunk. So we're going to go do the whole car, and then we'll give it some time. I think it's, what, 60 minutes, which, to be honest, by the time I finish the entire car, it'll probably be 60 minutes, and I can just start back in the exact same spot. So just kind of remember your order, because you can do that also. As soon as you finish the car, just take note of when you started and you did this. And then once you get back around, you'll probably take you about an hour to do the whole car, and then you'll be able to just start back on the first panel and put your second coat on. So we're going to get to that, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Alrighty guys, so we are wiping off our final layer of the first layer of ceramic coating. We did the glass last. Not sure if you guys can see it starting to change color and rainbow. Like I said, it looks like when you're in a Valero parking lot and you look down into a water puddle and you see that somebody's been leaking oil and it's in a water puddle and it's all rainbowy. That's what this will look like. Or for maybe some of you guys, your driveway might look like this. So it looks like that because that's what's happening. So we're going to get this final layer wiped off because it is flashed, and we're going to get it off, and then we're going to start on our second layer. I am going to do 2 coats of the ceramic coating. I think 3 would just be too many. And if you watch the videos of people doing this exact coating, including the CarPro video, they say the same thing. I mean, 2 to 3 coats max, but most people just do 2 coats. The first coat kind of fills in any sort of imperfections, and then the second coat will really give it a nice smooth layer. So that's what I would do. If you want to do 3 coats, by all means, but I guarantee you by the time you get through 2 coats, you're going to be so out of energy from doing this job, you're probably not going to want to do a 3rd coat. So there's another thing. Like I said, this is a very, very time consuming project to do. but it's worth it if you do it right. So for those of you who said, well, I did one in an hour, well, yours probably didn't work, and you're probably complaining in the Amazon comments about how garbage the ceramic coating is that you bought. Because if you do it right, then it works. I mean, hands down, it's not fake. This is not fake news. It works if you do it right. So once we get this panel on, based on the time, I started a little over an hour ago with putting this coating on, so I will be able to just start right back up on the trunk, which is where I started, and go ahead and start getting this second coat on, because it's 60 minutes in between. So once I get this window completely wiped, and as you can see, I've moved on to my own microfibers, the one that come with the kit. Started to get to where it was just smearing, and so I went ahead and started replacing them, just grabbing some of these. That's what I bought them for anyways. So I can just replace these every so often, so I don't take the chance of smearing the ceramic coating and leaving a streak. So the CarPro Reload here, it says in the directions, apply 60 minutes after the final layer, which is basically when the final, putting on an extra coat. This is a silica spray sealant. I believe this is what they want you to install basically during every wash, I assume. It's just more of a sealant. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to apply this. I'm not sure if it depends on how much time I have, whether or not I'm going to apply this after or not. We will see. Once I get this last coating on, I may apply this, or I may just wait till tomorrow. So this is, like I said, I'm pretty sure it says here it's just a sealant. So I've never had to apply this over top of any other coating. Usually the ceramic coating, you'll give it time before you apply anything, but we may have time enough to do this afterwards. I'm pretty sure what the directions is just saying is you need to wait 60 minutes before you put this on or anything, or well, this, because I probably wouldn't be putting on any other wax or anything on it until the 24-hour cure time. But for this, it says 60 minutes, which I might apply this first coat. So we'll see. So now we're going to go back to the trunk and we're going to start applying our second coat. So we're going to get the second coat installed, and then we'll be right back and we'll see about if we're going to do this. If not, I may have to wait till tomorrow. So let's. All right, guys. So we got our second coating installed on the car, and it looks very good. Now, after you get your second coat, completed and put on and wiped off, you want to take a light or something. They make little, sunlight flashlights you can get. I know Harbor Freight has one. It works pretty good. You want to give the car a good walk around and make sure that you have no high spots where you may have missed wiping the ceramic coating off, or anything like that, streaks, because you want to get rid of those now, because once this coating hardens, if you have a high spot or a streak, that streak will be in there and you'll have to buff it out. So you definitely want to make sure that you didn't miss any spots for wiping it down. So I would give it a couple little walk around look-sees to make sure that you have everything wiped off and that the paint just looks nice and shiny, with no streaks. And the kit come with this Reload, and I did a little bit more research on this, and it's what I thought. It obviously it's a sealant. It's what it says it is. But this can also be a standalone. It says it could last up to 3 months. So it's just their sealant. It doesn't have to go on directly after the coating. It just says that if you're going to put this on, you need to wait 60 minutes after the last coating to put this on. So I'm going to put this on tomorrow. I'm going to let this sit overnight, and then I'll put this on tomorrow just because it's getting late and I'm trying to skedaddle. So I'm going to let this cure, and then I'm going to put this on tomorrow, and we're going to finish that up. This just says to apply just basically like any other sealant. Spray, spread out, buff out, buff by hand with a microfiber. And then, like I said, using a separate towel, get it off, make sure you don't have any streaks. The same as any other sealant or wax that you're going to put on, but I would put this on with it just because it come with the kit, and for two, it probably works pretty well being they're made by the same company. And then I think if you want to, you can top this off with your something else if you want to shine it up anymore, but this apparently gives it a really nice shine too. So we're going to get that put on tomorrow, and we're going to finish up. So see you guys tomorrow, and then we'll finish her up, and she will be hopefully complete and ready to bead off some water. So all right guys, so we are back, and it is the following day. We have let the coating sit and kind of cure. It hasn't been exactly 24 hours yet, but it's definitely been longer than 60 minutes. So we can go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this reload on. So all this is, like I said before, it's just a sealant. It says to put it on every 3 months to help prolong the coating. This gives it a higher gloss, and it also gives it a little bit extra slickness, and also just water repellency. So we're going to go across the entire car, and we're going to install this reload, and then after that we should be done, and we can just we'll give it the until 24 hours. It's about 3 hours or so until it hits 24-hour cure time for me. So I'll give it that time. It's actually raining. We actually got a little bit of snow this morning, so I'm probably just going to leave it here for another day inside rather than taking it outside, because I don't plan on driving this with it snowing. So, but yeah, just give it the full 24-hour before the water gets on it. And like I said, definitely put this on before you pull it out. This right here, I don't believe it has any sort of cure time. It just says put on, and that's pretty much it. So it's basically like anything else. So we're going to put this on, and like I said, we're going to finish her up. So I'm going to get on the car. I'll show you one panel, and then we'll move on. All right, so this spray is a nice fine mist, very nice. So we're just going to spray on, and it says to spray on and kind of rub it in, just same as anything else. Rub it in with the microfiber, and make sure you have no smear marks, and then move on to the next panel once you've done all of that. And it does feel super slick, super slick. Wow, that feels great. So we're just gonna buff it out, and it seems to buff out pretty good, considering some of the stuff that you use. Some sprays don't do as good. I will say this has a very nice mister on it, so that probably helps out a lot by not spraying too much onto the panel. Just like anything else, when you get those cheap sprayers from like the parts store, they usually spray like and put too much on it, and then it ends up smearing and leaving streaks. And you don't want that, but that just usually the reason you get that is because you have too much product on the panel. So this with a nice mister seems like it's going to help out a lot with installation. So there we go. We got it wiped off. It is super slick, feels nice. It looks super shiny. So we're going to go and do the whole car, including the glass, with this, and then we will hopefully be finished. So all right guys, so we have completed putting on the CarPro Reload. It went on very, very easily. Spray on, wipe off. The mister that comes with it really helped out a lot because it wasn't putting too much product on the paint at a time. Just like any other product, you put too much on it, it is harder to get off because it starts to smear. So if you're starting to smear a lot, that means you're putting on too much, basically. So in the mister bottles, I had a bunch on my detailing van that put a really fine mist. They work really nicely. So if you are detailing, highly recommend getting you some good misting bottles. I think the ones I got were like made for like people who cut hair, you know, really fine mist, almost like a Febreze bottle mist, but they do work really nicely for putting on just enough to where you can wipe it in and it comes off easy and you don't have to sit there and scrub for 30 minutes trying to get all the smears out. So we got it on the car is super slick and it looks spectacular. Not sure how it's gonna do once we get outside. It is raining today. I still have like a couple more hours until it's technically been 24 hours. So we're probably not gonna get it out today. If so, it'll be later on tonight, but then we'll see how it performs with water beading, and then also we'll just see how long we can get it to last with normal car washes. So I will do a follow-up video here in probably maybe a week or two, just kind of reviewing how it's doing once it gets out here. Is it water beading? How good is it doing? Is it doing nothing? Which I would hope not. But we'll do a kind of follow-up, and then eventually when it starts to fade, I'll probably do another video then, which will hopefully be in 2 years. So appreciate you guys watching, and I hope this video helped. I know this series was super long, and I do apologize for that, but I hope it helped you out a little bit. This is probably the only series that I make this long. I guarantee you I'll have more videos that take 20 or 30 minutes with the amount of repairs and different things I do. But hopefully I won't have one this long, but this one was just kind of a lot of information and a lot of me showing how I do things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and appreciate you guys watching. And as always, like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.